Few dishes are as iconic as the Turkish Döner kebab. A symbol of tradition, craftsmanship, and flavor, Döner has become a global favorite. But what makes a truly exceptional Döner? It all starts with the right ingredients and precise techniques. The first rule of high-quality Döner is that it must be made from 100% thinly sliced meat. These thin slices ensure the meat remains tender and flavorful, as they cook quickly and evenly. The perfect Döner blend consists of 75% beef, typically from the leg, 20% lamb for added richness, and 5% tail fat for moisture and flavor. This ratio strikes the ideal balance between lean and fatty meat, ensuring a melt-in-your-mouth experience. But the magic doesn't stop at the meat selection. A critical step in the process is marination. The meat is soaked in a mixture of milk, salt, and onions. Nothing too complex, but essential for tenderizing the meat and enhancing its natural flavors. This marinade is allowed to work its magic for at least 24 hours, ensuring that every bite is as succulent as the next. Once marinated, the real artistry begins, stacking the meat on the spit. Each layer of beef and lamb is carefully placed, with just the right amount of fat in between. For every 10 kilograms of meat, around 3 kilograms of animal fat, such as suet or kidney fat, are used. This fat not only adds flavor but also prevents the meat from drying out during cooking. Döner can be cooked using a variety of heat sources, each imparting a different flavor profile. While wood fire is traditional, it must be used carefully to avoid a smoky flavor that overpowers the meat. Gas is more commonly used for its consistency and control, ensuring the meat cooks evenly. However, nothing beats the flavor of Döner cooked over charcoal, natural heat that infuses the meat with a subtle smokiness. A sharp Döner knife is essential for slicing the meat perfectly. The Döner master not only uses a knife but also relies on a Döner stick to maintain control while cutting. The meat should be sliced thinly to enhance the flavor, with each cut uniform and precise. Some Döner chefs prefer circular slices while others go for a square cut. Regardless of the shape, thin slices make for the best Döner. Now let's talk about seasoning. The marinade is kept simple but effective. For 10 kilograms of meat, you'll need 2 liters of milk, 3 thickly sliced onions, and the most important ingredient, salt. About 8 grams of salt per kilogram of meat to be precise. A touch of olive oil and sunflower oil are also added to bring out the richness of the meat. Garlic is a common addition, but spices are kept minimal before cooking. Usually just a bit of thyme and sometimes a bay leaf for aroma. When it comes to spices, less is more before cooking. Add too much, and the high heat will burn the spices, leaving the Döner with a bitter, charred taste. That's why spices like black pepper, red pepper flakes, cumin, and extra thyme are typically added during serving, never before cooking. Döner is a versatile dish, enjoyed in many different ways around the world. In Turkey, it's often served with simple garnishes like fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, fries, and pickles, with the occasional touch of a mild sauce. Internationally, Döner has evolved, particularly in Germany, where the sauce-covered Döner, introduced in 1971, quickly became a favorite. In Greece, Döner takes on a new form as gyros, always wrapped in pita bread, while shawarma, similar yet distinct, is known for its bolder spices and different serving style. Customization is key when it comes to Döner. Some enjoy their Döner with garlic or mustard-based sauces, while others prefer a simple tomato sauce made with meat stock. These sauces add moisture and richness, but should be used sparingly to let the flavors of the meat shine through. The process of assembling a Döner spit requires both skill and precision. After marinating, the meat is placed on the skewer with alternating layers of fat and meat to ensure even cooking and flavor distribution. At the base of the skewer, a mirror-like plate holds the meat in place. To keep the meat from sticking, a layer of fat is first placed at the bottom, followed by the carefully arranged layers of beef and lamb. The final touch? A piece of tail fat at the top, preventing the stack from falling apart during the long hours of cooking. Though doner, shawarma, and gyros may look similar at first glance, each is uniquely different. Shawarma, popular in the Middle East, is often served with different sauces and pickled vegetables. In Greece, gyros is almost always served with tzatziki in pita, but Turkish doner is all about balance. The perfect blend of meat, minimal sauces, and simple, fresh garnishes. It's a dish that celebrates the meat itself. The next time you savor a bite of doner, remember the layers of flavor, the hours of preparation, and the careful balance of ingredients that go into each slice. This is more than just a meal, it's a culinary tradition passed down through generations, perfected over centuries. Doner. Every slice is a journey through time, from the rich history of Turkish cuisine to the plates of food lovers worldwide. Here's a full English version of the homemade Turkish-style doner recipe, which can be made in a pan or oven. Ingredients: 1 kilogram of beefsteak, lean and thinly sliced, preferably tenderloin. 150 grams of lamb tail fat, thinly sliced. 1 tea glass of olive oil. 1 tablespoon of yogurt. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. 1 tablespoon of pepper paste. 1 teaspoon of cumin. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. 1 teaspoon of red chili flakes. 1 teaspoon of thyme. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 head of garlic, crushed. 1 tea glass of milk for tenderness. 2 tablespoons of vinegar for marinating. Preparation. Marination. Slice the beef into very thin layers. You can partially freeze the meat to make slicing easier. In a bowl, mix olive oil, yogurt, tomato and pepper pastes, crushed garlic, cumin, black pepper, chili flakes, thyme, salt, milk, and vinegar. Add the thinly sliced beef and lamb tail fat to the marinade and mix well to coat all the pieces evenly. Let the meat marinate in the refrigerator for at least 6 hours, preferably overnight. Alright, let's get cooking in a pan. First, place the marinated meat in a pan. You can start by lightly frying the lamb tail fat first if you like. Heat the pan over medium heat and cook the meat on both sides until it's golden brown. Now remember, don't use very high heat to prevent burning the outside before the inside is fully cooked. Once it's cooked, slice the meat thinly and serve it with onions, tomatoes, and flatbread to make those delicious wraps. Next, we're cooking in the oven. Skewer the marinated meat to simulate the doner cooking style. Place the skewers horizontally on a baking tray and cook in a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius, or 390 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 25 to 30 minutes. Be sure to turn the skewers to ensure even cooking on all sides. Once cooked, thinly slice the meat and serve. Once cooked, thinly slice the meat and serve. Enjoy your homemade Turkish doner.